Hey, what's happening? This is your host Tinto, and before we get started on this weekend's episode, I'd like to give a shout out to everybody that got me coffees this week, starting with you, Urunya. An incredible 5 coffees. Thank you so much. And your comment is paying my dues. Love listening to the podcast. And then heading over to Tendai, Jennifer, again, another incredible number of coffees. And your comment is this podcast is the highlight of my weekend. I'll try and keep it the highlight of your weekend until we get into the new year. Shingi and Kudzi, thank you so much for your generosity, ladies. Your comment there is, our weekends are not the same without listening to the podcast. It was nice meeting you at the Amapiano Fest. Keep up the good work, and we hope the next stage is your own talk show on TV. Ooh, well, thanks. I hope so too. And if you guys missed that Amapiano Festival, I'm sorry, but it was the best of the year, no matter what you say. And then I got a repeat offender, Tichitere Bogus. Man, this is about the 4th or the 5th time you've given. It's my turn to give you back. So please hit me up in the DM. I got something special coming your way. Thank you for the coffees. And your comment is, every episode shakes me to the core. Wow. Well, you don't know what's coming. If you'd like to support the podcast in the same manner, please head over to www.buymeacoffee.com/feeling station and give as your spirit leads. Remember, there is nothing that is too small to support the podcast that you've grown to love. With that out of the way, let's get into this weekend's episode.
Is that a breakup? I think we have a situation right here.
On the Feeling Station.
Hello?
Yo, what's happening, bro?
I'm good. How are you, man?
You know, this is one dodgy system. We had to try at least 4 or 5 times before we got connected.
It's sabotaging us.
Welcome to the Feeling Station.
Thanks, man. How are you?
I'm doing very well, thanks. And for those listening to this podcast for the first time, it touches on breakup stories that people would like to talk about, with a view to give you the listener lessons that you can learn from my guest experience. And one of the reasons why the podcast continues to do really well is that I do my best to keep my guests anonymous, which brings me to the fun part for you, sir. Are you ready for this one?
Oh, let's do it.
So the name that I have for you, I really don't know what the origins of this is, but it sounds very Shona to me, right?
Is it?
And the name that I have for you is Buru.
Well, it is.
And what that means, right, is one who is like a bull. Now, I don't know what it's like to be like a bull. What do you think it's like to be like a bull?
Aggression, I think.
Yeah, aggressive?
I think that's basically dominance.
Okay, so would you consider yourself aggressive and dominant?
No.
No. That's funny.
I like my peace.
So your name is Buru, and what are you going to call the girl that you're going to talk about today?
I've been thinking about this for a long time, but I still struggled. But anyways, let's just call her Dribbler.
What? You're going to call it Dribbler? Wow.
I was dribbled past.
Yo, that is crazy. And I can't really tell you why that is crazy now, but after another episode drops, you will get why this is crazy.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. Okay, so she's known as Dribbler and you're Buru. This is dope. So, another reason why the podcast is doing great is that there are real life lessons that people learn from the story that you're going to share today. So, what would you like people to learn from your story about the Dribbler?
Oh, okay. Firstly, your partner's friends are not your friends.
Hey! Okay. I like that. Number
then
2.
Secondly, if a person can cheat with you, then they would definitely cheat on you. Like,
oh, mad thing. This is already hectic, bro. Do you have a third lesson?
the third lesson, I think sometimes we as humans, let's say someone does something wrong to you, we always want to play victim.
Okay.
But after what happened, I realized that sometimes we play a part in our own heartbreaks. Like, we are instruments some way, somehow.
Okay.
So when things go wrong, always try to look at the part that you played.
Oh, I really like that. I really like that. So are those the 3 lessons you have, or you got more for me?
Yeah, I think that's all.
So I'll play those back. First one up, your partner's friends are not your friends. Lesson number 2, if a person can cheat with you, then they can cheat on you. And then last but not least, sometimes when we break up, we want to play the victim, but we need to sit back and look at how we were also instrumental in the heartbreak.
Exactly.
Fantastic. Let's get into this, Buru. Tell me where you met Dribbler and why you felt she's the one for me.
Okay. We actually met in college.
Oh, yeah?
In first. I only knew in second year.
Mm-hmm.
She knew me in first year because she was a friend of this other guy I used to play video games with.
Oh, yeah.
So when I went to college, I was an unfocused youth.
An unfocused youth.
like they say in them,
Yeah.
The things that matter to me, if I look back at them now, I'm like, what? What was I doing?
Yeah.
So keeping up appearances, I was always smartly dressed, always having flat base on, expensive shoes.
Mm-hmm.
So it was very easy for me to get attention from women. So that's how she picked up.
Okay. So she picked up on the cue that you're a guy who likes to look good, a guy who looks after himself, etc., etc.
Exactly. Of which the program that I studied is a nerdy program, people that are really serious with school. So they don't care about all those things.
I see what you mean.
I was the odd one out in class. Like everyone no, that guy that sits at the back with his cap,
wow.
And his Supra sneakers and all that.
You're pretty much the exotic fellow, weren't you?
Exactly. Because I remember one time I had to wear a suit. Everyone was like, "What? Oh, you actually wear this?" Okay.
The surprise you had a suit in your bag.
Yeah. So I actually only knew her in second year because surprisingly enough, I was very good in math, like calculating. So when we started doing finance modules, then I realized, well, okay, I can actually do this. So people started realizing that I'm actually good with them. But because I was very social, it was very easy for other guys, to just come and say, yo, can you help us here? Can you help us here? So that's how we actually our friendship started on school. She just asked me, can you help me calculate this? Can you do this? Okay, fine. Then on our third year, we went for internship. So we were in different parts of the country, but we still kept in touch. But then that's how we grew closer.
Oh, yeah. Isn't it funny how you grew closer? You grew closer to her when you were further apart.
I actually don't get it, but we used to communicate more when we were off campus.
Yeah.
And when we came for our fourth year now, she was really looking good that time. But back then, she was okay.
Well, okay. So what changed for her to suddenly look very good? Are you sure you weren't just infatuated? Because you remember you guys grew closer when you're apart. So maybe you had some chemistry and feelings to add to the equation, which suddenly made it look more attractive. I
think she physically looked more attractive in our fourth year.
How so?
She was still the same person. She gained weight, so she had these calves, she was like thick thighs save lives.
Thick thighs save lives.
So, but then, all this time that I knew her from my second year to my internship, like second year and third year, I was in a relationship. And she was also in a relationship. But when we were in fourth year, I was single, but she was still in a relationship.
Okay.
So now she's telling me, so we were very, very close by then. So we used to talk about everything. So now she's telling me how the boyfriend is cheating, how he's abusive and controlling. Because this one time, the guy went on Instagram and posted like 5 photos of himself, with captions. I'm like, oh, this is what's going on here. I thought you were not the type.
Wow.
It's like, no, this guy took my phone and, he posted because he thinks I was like, oh, I'm really sorry you have to go through all that. Then, so now we are in our last semester. Then she started being like, no, you should come to my church. I'm like, okay. I used to go to church, but then I knew that if I went out Saturday, then there's no.
You knew there was no hope and there was no point in trying to go to church because you wouldn't make it.
There's no way I could go. I could make it. So she's like, no, you must turn it down on alcohol. Okay, fine. Like, we'll talk about it.
Did she used to drink at that point, or she didn't?
Nope, she didn't drink. She didn't smoke. She didn't even go to the club. Like,
wow. Okay.
Lectures to the hostel, lectures to the hostel. And she also stayed on campus. I stayed off campus. So we were like opposites. At that time, I was like, how are we even friends? Like, we're very different people, because I used to party hard, especially in my last year, because I was like, look, man, if I leave college, I didn't want to be that husband that comes home at 4 a.m. when you have kids. So I was like, no, man.
I need to slow it down.
I was like, if I'm going to party, let me do it now.
Yeah.
When I still can.
Yeah.
So I used to go out and come back the following morning and, all that stuff. So she was like, no, you really need to stop this, what. I was like, wow, okay. This girl is really talking sense. Because all the other female friends I had that time would be like, what are we doing? It's Friday. Like, come on, do you feel? Because I had a car. And that time it was something, that would get you friends in course.
It would get you friends very easily because you were a source of mobility without paying.
Exactly. You see. So that's the kind of female friends I had around me. And she was very different. So I think that also made me like, oh, okay, this girl, she looks different, to be honest. Let me pay attention to this one. But now there's this other guy, she's with. So I'm like, okay, no, let me chill. So this other day, we were doing our dissertations. So I wanted to give her a flash disk for something. Then when I left, she's like, no, let me take you out. I'm like, okay. Then she hugged me. But this hug was very different from all the other hugs, the friendly hugs we used to have.
What was different about this one?
It was tight. It was emotional. Like, I could feel the tension. Like, there's something really going on here. But then I was like, so I'm the kind of person who's like, nah, don't get ahead of yourself. It's just a hug. Relax, bro.
Yeah.
So, okay, fine. Then it's weekend. Now, the next day, the weekend. Then she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, nothing. I'm watching football. Then she's like, can I come over to your place? I'm like, yeah, sure. Then she came. And I'd never seen her with makeup on. Like, that was the first time I saw her. I was like, wow, okay. Then we watched a movie. And before I know it, we are cuddling. Then we kissed. But then we stopped because I realized, no, man, this is not it. Because at the back of my head, I realized, no, this girl has a boyfriend. So maybe she's just using me as, source of comfort, and since things are going very wrong with her boyfriend, and I'm a chilled person, I'm laid back, so I'm probably the opposite of what she has, so maybe she finds comfort in me.
So you actually stopped the whole kissing thing?
No, we both stopped. Like, at some point,
it doesn't work like that.
Each other. Yeah, what are we doing?
It doesn't work like that, and the whole initiating of a kiss does not work like that. Okay, it's just not the way that these things happen. So hold fire.
How we kissed?
Hold fire on that one. I got a question for you. Who initiated that kiss? You or her?
Okay, she moved towards me.
Okay, and then
we looked at each other for like 2 seconds, then I don't know. I think maybe I moved towards it. I don't remember, but
well, I don't think that's true, bro. Because the scene that you're describing is something that I would watch on Days of Our Lives, and that's TV, that's acting. Let's get real here. One of you two felt, I'm gonna go in. So maybe she leaned forward to make you feel that, hey, I'm relaxed. If you want to do something, go ahead and do it. Did you take charge and go ahead and do it? Because I think you went in for the kiss.
Yeah, I did. Like, when she looked at me, and then like I could read what's going on. So.
Okay, so you went in for the kiss. So you guys at this point are kind of equal in quotes. And when I say equal, I mean, she said, hey, do you want to hang out? Can I come to yours? So she came your way, right?
Yes. Yeah,
and then you came her way by initiating the kiss. Now, the reason why I'm raising this is, why would you start a kiss knowing that she has a boyfriend only to end it? When you start thinking about the boyfriend, why didn't you think about the existence of the boyfriend at the beginning before you kissed her?
I don't even know. Like, at that time, I did not even think everything through. Because, of course, I liked the girl, but then the fact that she had someone else, it was like, nah, I'm not, I don't want to play second fiddle. Like, no, I can't.
That's why you shouldn't have gone for the kiss in the first place.
Yeah, like I said, that's what I say, that if sometimes you play a part in your own, like I was, what I did there was, it also added up to me getting where I found myself later on. Like,
okay. All right.
and I just set boundaries and said, no, we're friends, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's not do this. Yeah. But then, I was like, nah, let's see how it goes. Let's go with the flow.
So no boundaries were set. You guys are kissing, you pull away from the kiss, and then you guys have the conversation to say, okay, this is not right.
Yes, no, what we did was wrong, what. Okay, fine. Yeah, we agree that what we did was wrong. Then, but we kept on being friends, and we never really talked about it afterwards. We finished school. Then, the year we finished school now, then we started now calling each other, Then she got a job first before I did. Then she called me. She asked me, like, do you know if I can get a house in XYZ in this city? I'm like, yeah, I have a friend who stays there. Let me ask him. So I call my man, yo, I'm looking for a house. There's someone looking for a house. I didn't even know it's hers. Then she's like, oh, by the way, it's mine. I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, I found a house. Oh, I found a job there. Okay, cool. Congrats. Then I think a week or two after, then she told me, nah, I broke up with that guy, what. Okay, cool. So now both of us are now single. So I'm now like, okay, maybe we can do this now, Then, yeah, I visited my rural home at some point before we started dating. And when I was there, because the network was so bad, I could not text you on WhatsApp. So I told her, every time I go to the shops, I'm going to call you because the reception there is a bit better. So I would call her, then we'd talk for 20, 30. There was this promotion by Net1. I don't remember the name. Where you would pay like $5 or $3, but you get crazy amount of talk time. So we used that. And then that's when I told her, look, man, I love you. I'm feeling sweet.
Ooh.
Then she was like, I know. She kind of laughed. She's like, yeah, I know. I'm like, what? She's like, nah, I know you liked me for a long time.
For a while,
but,
yeah.
Yeah, but you were just, you were just holding it back, what. But yeah, I love you too. Okay, cool.
You guys are very quick at saying I love you. I mean, one of the things that I would think would have happened first would be I like you. But you guys have gone straight for I love you. How come it happened so quickly?
I don't even know. Like at that time, I don't even know what was really going on. Because when I look back at it, this was the fastest time of my life. Because I don't even understand what's going on.
Why? But why did she say she broke up with the ex?
Oh, she was saying that they had problems since we were still in college. Like the guy was controlling, was insecure.
Yeah,
he was aggressive with her. So at one point she was like, nah, I have to leave. Like, I've got to leave this guy.
Yeah.
So the other thing, I feel like maybe she wanted to use me to get over the guy. Like, that's why she was, So then she's like, straight after that conversation, she's like, oh, so when are you coming back to the city? And I'm like, probably Sunday. Then she's like, okay, if you want, you can visit me the next weekend. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So I tell my dad, remember I have that friend that stays in that city.
Yes.
My dad knows that guy. So I tell my dad, look, I'm going to see my friend there. He has a birthday party.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, oh, okay, cool. Then I visit her. Like we connected there. Things were going very well. And I came back and I told my guys, okay, gents, I think this is it. Like,
I'm off the market.
Yeah, we've been friends for a long time and now we're now dating. So, I started telling all my friends, everyone in my contacts now, this is my girlfriend. Like, this is how it is. So things were very fine for, I think, about 3-4 months. Then after that, she withdrew. Like, sometimes I'd call her, then she doesn't answer the phone. Sometimes she doesn't text back. Like, she would text back, but then the time she texts, you can see there's something going on here. But then sometimes you can see she's online, but she doesn't text back. So at first, I did not talk about it. Then at some point, I was like, no, man, like, this is crazy. So I asked her, like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Then she's just like, no, I'm sorry. I haven't been the girlfriend that you want. Like I haven't been the right girlfriend for you. I'm sorry. I'm gonna change. Okay, cool. Then she was okay for about a week. Then again, I was like, come on, man. Like, what is this? Then she was like, you know what? I'm going through some stuff. I'm like, what stuff? Like, we are together. I think we should share problems. If we share good times, we should also share problems. Like, I don't get the point. You are just here for the good times, or instead you want to be on your own. It doesn't work like that. Then she's like, no, I can't tell you now. It's too early. Okay, fine. Then I think 3 or 4 days later, then she said, no, I need some space. Like, can we take a break?
Hey.
Like, what? I'm like, oh, okay. So at some point I thought, nah, maybe it's just a month, or 2 weeks, she's gonna be back. Then I think about 3 months passed. I'm like, oh, okay, so maybe this is it. Okay, fine, it's fine. It's fine. Let me just count my losses and move on.
Wait a minute. So 3 months goes past of what? Of a break in quotes?
Yes.
And you don't know what the break is about?
Exactly. Yeah. She didn't want to explain. She was just saying that she's going through some stuff at home and her family. You know, in my head, I thought, they're probably fixing things with the other guy. But then I did not want to talk about it because I knew there is no way she's going to. To agree to that.
But one, why wouldn't she agree? And two, just why wouldn't you ask? Because your gut is never wrong, really.
Yeah, that's true.
And your gut was telling you something, so you could have asked. And if she really didn't want, she could have said, "This is it," instead of saying, "Let me have some space."
Exactly.
Hey,
so after that, I think around December, because we started dating in April up until I think August. Then we broke up. August, September, I don't remember. Then in December, I got a job in another country, so I had to relocate.
Yeah.
So at some point, she's like, hey, I tried to text you on WhatsApp, but your number is not, I can't get hold of you. I think it was on Facebook, on Instagram, I don't remember. Then I said, oh yeah, I moved. I'm staying in this country now. I'm no longer in Zim. And she's like, oh, okay, congrats. Anyways, I just wanted to say hi. I'm like,
So hang on a second. You left the country without telling her?
No, I didn't tell.
Why?
At that time, I think end of November, we would go like 2-3 weeks without talking. So at some point, I thought, no, man, this is it. Like, I just have to count my losses and move on.
So why didn't you count your losses in month 1?
I don't know.
Because bro, I can't imagine having a girlfriend and I don't talk to her for a week and I hang on for another 12 weeks.
In my head, I'd actually accepted that now we are breaking up. We've broken up. Maybe this girl is just scared to tell me that,
So why didn't you do her the favor and tell her that, okay, I get the message, I'm gone? Sooner. I know you did eventually, but I'm just trying to understand why you longed out the whole thing.
I don't know, man.
Okay.
Like this, I don't know. This girl was very different. I was like, no, man. From the other girls that I have dated, she was different from them. So I think at the back of my head, I was like, no, this is the one for me. No, I must not just give up like this. We never had because we never fought, we never argued. Everything was perfect until that time she just started acting up.
Okay.
So when I moved, then she looked for me. She couldn't find me. Then I'm like, no, I'm staying in another country. Then she's like, oh, I just wanted to say hi. Okay, cool. So the guy that hooked me up with the job, we went to the same college. So she knew this guy. She's like, oh, so how long? So she went to him now. She's talking to him. So we're chilling at the park. We are just having a few drinks, smoking our happy pipe. Then this guy is asking me, yo, bro, you and Dribbler broke up. I'm like, yeah, a long time ago. Then he's like, oh, she's asking about you. I'm like, why is she asking you? Like, why can she talk to me? She has my numbers now. So now apparently she was trying to figure out if I have someone, like,
if
if I have someone in the car. Yeah, she was asking my friend, like, is you with someone? So when she realized, no, I'm not with anyone, then she was like, okay, cool. Then she texted me this other Saturday, like, no, Buru, we need to talk. That's when now she told me what was going on with her.
So what was going on with her?
So according to her, this guy that she had been dating, they'd been together for, I think, 3-4 years. So she was now like part of the family.
Right.
So now her sisters, the guy's sisters, the guy's mother, everyone in the family didn't want to cut ties with her. So she said that she felt bad that she was still in contact with the ex family, and whilst being with me as well. Like, she said it didn't sit right with her.
Yeah, that's not unreasonable. It's understandable.
I was like, nah.
You're like, nah.
I'm fine, man. It's okay. It's like, no, don't be like that. I really want you. I really want us to work. Then she started now using all the things that we used to say to each other, like, the baby names, like all the plans that we had, like, because we used to talk a lot about our future. Then I'm like, no, I'm not taking you back. Then there is this friend of hers that is also a friend of, she was a friend of mine because I knew her through her. So like I said, your partner's friends, not your friends.
Yes.
So her and this girl add me in a group chat. Then they plead with me like,
together.
No, don't be like, yeah, like, don't be like that, man. Please take her back. I was like, okay, fine, it's cool, like, it's okay.
What were your reasons for not wanting her back in the first place?
I was like, what if you run again? Like,
okay,
what guarantee do I have that you're not gonna run again? Because I know people have a tendency of leaving, coming back. Because I had a relationship before where me and the girl would break up and make up, break up, make. I didn't want that.
So you didn't want to repeat, yeah.
Yeah, it was exhausting. So she was like, okay, thank you. Then she's like, no, I'm gonna visit you next month. Okay, cool. Then she came over. Then when she came, I was like, nah, you used your money to come here. It's not fair for you to use it back. So keep it. I'm going to book you so that you can go back. She's like, okay, thank you. And we were really fine from that time. Then that's when things really started getting messy. So initially, we had agreed that she's going to move to the country where I was, because her older sister, the firstborn in their family, was also staying in the country that I am.
Okay.
So she said, no, I'm going to move, stay with my sis for a while, even if I don't find a job. Then if I find a job, then, we take it from there. Because we wanted to be married, I think, was it 2 or 3 years after we started dating, something like that. So we were working towards that. Then one day she's like, I changed my mind. I don't think that country is safe for me. Like, I don't feel safe staying there. Okay. I'm like, what? Okay, it's fine. At that time, I didn't want to talk about it too much because I was like, I can also come back. It's not a big issue. Like, it's fine. Then one day she went offline. Then my little brother is in college, but then he's like 100 kilometers from her. So they know each other because I've introduced them to each other. So my little brother sent me a text saying that, yo, bro, your girl told me to tell you this. So she was like, hey, can you tell Buru that my phone is broken? So I'm going to be offline for a while.
So how was she able to tell your brother and not tell you?
She was using those smaller phones that are not, those phones that are not smartphones, the one that don't go on the internet. So she sent a text.
Okay, gotcha.
So to me, for her to call me, it's really expensive to call from them. So I understood the logic then. I was like, okay, no, that's fine. So are you in contact? So I asked my brother, are you in contact with her? And he was like, yes, I am. I'm like, okay, cool. So my brother already wanted the phone. So I was like, look, man, I'm going to send 2 phones to you, to my brother. Then you can send the other one. He's like, okay, cool. So I looked for the phones, bought them, put them on a bus on a Saturday. The next day, they're already there. And then we started talking. Then, so I think she didn't think I was going to react that quick, like, because apparently this whole phone thing was actually a scam.
Wow.
She had already started, doing some things.
Okay.
So now we are talking. This, I think it was a Tuesday, because she got the phone on a Sunday. And on a Tuesday, she's like, I forgot my charger at work. So I don't have, my battery's about to die.
Yeah.
This is about 5:45 at night.
Wow. Okay.
So I'll talk to you in the morning. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. It's fine. It happens. Then 2 days after, she's like, I was using work Wi-Fi, so I don't have data bundles. So I'll be offline. That's like 5 o'clock. Then I'm like, okay, no problem. Then I bought her airtime, but she was still offline. The following day, I asked her, how come I bought you airtime, but you never went back online? She's like, oh, yeah, the phone that you bought airtime, I left it in my purse at work. I forgot my... I'm like, oh my God.
By this point, you must be like, nah, this ain't adding up.
And I even told her, like, I don't know what's going on, but there's definitely
something going on. Yeah.
There's something going on, but I don't have proof then. Then she blew up on me. She's like, no, the thing is, you are paranoid, you're seeing things, what. I'm not doing that. If I didn't want you, I wouldn't have came back. No, she's like, okay, fine. Then you remember that friend that reconciled us?
Yes, yes.
I went to her. I'm like, look, man, this is what's going on. Can you please help me out? Then she's like, what did you do to her? I'm like, what do you mean? I didn't do nothing. Like, why would I come to you if I did something wrong? It's like, no, there is no way she's going to be like this to you. You have done something. You should have done something. I'm like, no, I didn't do anything. Don't do this to me. Like, please help me save my relationship. Then she's like, nah, you guys need to talk. Things out, man. Like, I cannot be part of this.
But isn't this messed up how when she needed help, she was very quick to assist. And then now when you need the same, she's just kicking you to the curb.
Exactly. I'm like, okay, no, that's fine. So by the time we get to December, I realized, no, man, then I told her, look, I think we should just cut our losses, man, because this is not working. I cannot be with you if you are doing this. Yeah. Then she was like, no, you can't do that. I'm like, why not? And she's like, no, I'll change. I'm like, no, like, it's fine. I don't want. So whilst we're in the middle of talking things out, like she was trying to convince me that she's gonna change. I'm like, no, it's fine. You can live your life. I get a call from a number that I don't know. So at first I thought maybe it's one of these WhatsApp groups, someone dials your number by mistake, then they hang up. Because the guy called for at that time I didn't know it was the guy. The person called for 25 seconds, then they hung up.
And they didn't say anything?
No, I couldn't even answer the phone because it rang. Then before I couldn't even get to my phone, it hung up. So I was like, nah, it's maybe one of the people in this group. It's fine. Yeah. Then at some point, the person calls again. I think after about 5 minutes, then I answer. Hello? Then he's like, hello, is this Buru? I'm like, yeah, who's this? Then he's like, nah, man, you don't know me. My name is so-and-so. Do you know Dribbler? I'm like, yeah, then I said, she used to be my girlfriend. So already I could sense.
You could tell that there's some it's about to go down.
Yeah. Then he's like, oh, when did you guys break up? And I said, nah, about a month. Then he's like, oh, okay. I just wanted to let you know that you remember when she was telling me that her phone broke down? I'm like, yeah. Then he's like, yeah, you remember the phone that you what, yeah? Like, yeah. Then he's like, yeah, by that time, she was cohabiting with me, so that's why she was lying to you that
snap.
she doesn't have, So I'm like, okay. So I did not freak out because already I knew she was up to something, but I just did not have,
concrete
enough
information.
Evidence. Yeah. Then this guy's like, why are you not freaking out, man? Like, why are you so chilled? I'm like, bro, I knew these things, but not in detail. Like, I knew something was up. Like, I'm not that stupid, man. Then he's like, maybe, you're obviously surprised as to why I'm calling you. And I'm like, yeah, I am. And he's like, oh, the thing is, when I met your girl, she told me she has a boyfriend, but the boyfriend doesn't stay in this country. So I was okay with it. Because apparently this guy also had a wife and like 5 kids, I think. He told me his life story. Yeah.
Isn't it funny how these people in these kind of situations attempt to be friends in quotes?
Imagine.
I mean, what's the value in you knowing that he's a married guy with 5 children? How does that add to your life?
Exactly. Then I'm like, oh, okay. So apparently this guy was calling me because Dribbler had someone else she was cheating this guy with besides me.
So there's now 3 people in the equation.
Exactly. So this guy thought we were still dating. So he wanted to break everything up because apparently he had done a lot for the girl, And now it kind of added up.
Yeah.
Because there's this other time she bought these double door freezers. Like, what? I knew the job she does. I knew the range of salary she got.
And it wouldn't allow her to buy that kind of fridge.
There is no way on planet Earth she would have done that.
So it was financed by somebody else.
Yeah, but then again, I did not want to cause a scene because I don't have evidence of what I'm saying. Oh, maybe she really said it. I don't know. Because I was like, what? You can afford this? And she's like, yeah, I saved. I was like, oh, fine. So this guy was the one who was doing all these finances, was financing things. And because I could see things that I didn't know about. Sometimes we would video call each other.
Yeah.
And I can see a chest of drawers. I'm like, what? No, the money that I send you that is not enough for that.
Yeah.
You can buy clothes, but not. But then I did not want to get into it.
So out of curiosity, because you say this guy was married with kids, was he working out of town as well then? Because he said they were cohabiting by then.
He was working in that same city, but his family was staying in Harare.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. So he was kind of single in city-wise,
Wow.
And he was a boss at some company. He was very popular.
But it's very brave to be cohabiting with someone knowing that his wife might just turn up one day.
Yeah, bro, imagine.
Jeez.
No, they were staying at the girl's place.
Oh, at Dribbler's place.
Yes, exactly.
Mad thing.
So now, this guy, what he told me is that Dribbler had my name on one number and my second name on another number. But my second name was my number. My first name was that other guy she was cheating with.
Wow.
So now it was well calculated.
Oh my God.
So because this guy had been told already that, look, I'm dating Buru. So he just thought, okay, this is Buru's first number, this is Buru's second number. Until he went through the phone, only to realize that the other number is the same number, the other one is not.
Wow.
So he was like, no, I asked her, how come Buru's number is a +263, but you said he doesn't live here? Then she was like, no, don't you know that sometimes people just relocate and never change numbers?
Wow. She had this stuff figured out.
Then the guy was like, okay, fine. But I don't know what made him keep on, probing. Then he said that he actually went through the gallery. Like, when you go to a chat, and you can go to the media exchange. Then he realized, I know this guy, like he knew the guy. They were actually from the same city, like they were in the same city.
What are the chances, eh?
Then, so now you told me, no, that's what's going on. I'm like, oh, okay, now it makes sense. Then now you ask me, do you know Dribbler's friend named so-and-so? I'm like, yeah. You remember that friend I told you about?
Yeah.
Apparently, this friend now was actually ranking us, like the three guys.
Ah.
So now she's now like, no, Buru is very far away. You don't even know what he's doing. Forget about him. And this guy is married. So, leave him again. There's no way you guys are you should focus on this one, the new guy.
Oh my gosh.
So now it made sense why she gave me an attitude when I was trying to, sort things out.
Because you're the furthest of them all.
Yeah, she didn't want me to date a friend.
Yeah. Now this makes a lot of sense when you say you're less than one, your partner's friends are not your friends, because she had no reason to look after you at all.
Exactly.
Because you're bottom of the food chain, to say the least.
I'm like, okay, no, that's fine. Then, so now everything now started to add up. Because there's this other time she'd asked me, what car would you recommend for me? I'm like, a car. Then she's like, yeah, I want to buy a small car. I'm like, okay. But again, I did not want to ask a lot of questions. That's why I say that sometimes you play a part in your own heart. Because had I been vocal and said, no, man, this is bullshit. What the hell is going on?
Exactly.
I would have saved myself, But I was like, nah, let me chill. I'm not a dramatic person. This is not me. It affected me a lot. So now, I'm like, okay, no, man, thanks. It's fine. Then now, I think because I was so laid back, this guy thought I did not believe him or something, because he kept on repeating himself. Because we spoke for over an hour.
I mean, it's because you gave him the response he wasn't anticipating. You wanted war.
Exactly. Maybe he thought I was going to freak out,
And you wanted the thing to get hot enough that he could then pass it on to Dribbler to say you can't screw two of us at the same time.
Exactly. So now, this guy, so I think he wanted to give evidence to me that, no, I'm actually with this girl. So now he's like, I took her phone, so I went through her chat. So he said, no, he took photos of the chat with her and the friend. That's how I knew about what she was saying about me. Then he was like, okay, I need to show you something. Then he started sending me photos of him and the girl. I'm like, bro, you do realize I can actually leak these photos because I'm not in them. You guys are naked, yeah, but
you were sending pictures of them naked.
And a video. There was actually a video of them in sex tape. Actually.
You are lying.
I'm serious.
And he sent you a video of him having sex with your girlfriend.
Exactly.
Hi, boy.
And now, here's the fun part now. These guys were not even using protection, right? And then I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, this girl. Because we had discussions over, like there's no way we can be in a relationship for like 4 or 5 years. In the future, we should look for other methods of contraception or to.
Yeah.
Then she was like, nah, I think we can stick to condoms. It will be fine. We can keep up. I'm like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, so you told me you'd keep up, but then you're cheating. 2, you've known this guy for like 2, 3, 4 months. This guy is married. You don't even know what the wife is doing. Like the risk you're putting yourself in.
And potentially the risk that would have been put on you if you were not using condoms. In fact, you must be grateful that she insisted on the condoms. But maybe that's because during your time, she knew what she was up to anyway, because this doesn't sound fresh. And the level of calculations and details that she had put into this to make the two names separate on 2 different numbers is well thought out.
Yeah, that's why I call it dribbler, because,
wow,
things were really mapped out. So I'm like, bro, there's no need for you to send me these things. Like, I can leak them out and ruin your marriage. Like, relax. Just count your loss. It's fine.
And what did he say when you said that?
He laughed and he said, you are very young, but you're so mature. That's what he said to me.
You know, that's a bit condescending, you know. He's expecting you to be youthful and immature.
Exactly. Like he was like,
and yet he doesn't realize that he's more senior and he's the one exhibiting immature behavior by saying the newest sex tape.
Exactly. So I'm like, nah, man, I've already moved on past this. Like, I checked out of this relationship a long time ago.
Yeah.
This girl has been denying, like, she's been refusing to be left out. So I'm like, okay, fine, I'm just there, but I'm not there.
Mm-hmm.
And now the other thing that really pissed me off of the whole situation was not me being cheated on, because, it happens. Like, but then there was a time when she started acting up, right?
Mm.
And my cousin introduced me to this girl, Tinto. This girl was fine. Like, I am yet to meet a better girl than that.
Wow.
And the funny thing is, this girl, she was an apostolic. What do they call them? Apostle.
Yeah. Apostolic faith. Yeah.
Yeah. So she had short hair, like she was old. Funny enough, she was like 6 to 8 months older than me, but she looked so young because her skin, it was so vibrant. Like she was beautiful. Like man. And I was like to my cousin, look, bro, this girl is beautiful. This girl is hot. She has got calves for days and everything. But I have someone else. I cannot cheat on my girlfriend.
Yeah.
Like, please don't do this to me. Just understand. My cousin was like, it's fine. But when that girl does you dirty, you're going to regret this,
exactly.
bro. I promise you, like, I was like, oh my God. And I started thinking back to that. I'm like, had I just given that girl a chance? Because at that time, I could have just told her, look, man, let's break up. I found someone else. But then I wanted to do the right thing. I'm like, no, I cannot do this.
What was the right thing?
The right thing was to be being faithful. Like, I cannot entertain someone else.
But you're being faithful to someone who's being unfaithful.
At that time, I didn't know that she's unfaithful. She was just exhibiting shady behavior. But then I did not have enough information, to just say, you did not answer my phone. So I thought to me, it's just, I would just be like, I'll just be doing the most for the men at trash bandwagon. Like, you do not have information. You just,
So out of curiosity, I mean, you've seen all these news, you've checked out emotionally. Did you eventually speak to the dribbler and say, hey, look, man, I now have enough? Or you just decided to, I don't know, what did you do?
She called me, I think, a day or two after, because she realized that we had spoke with the guy.
What did she have to say?
And she's like, no, I'm so sorry about what happened. I'm like, no, you're not sorry. You're sorry because you got caught. Because apparently she actually lied to that guy when she was going to see the third boyfriend, that she's going to see my brother and my sister. She and my sister are going to see my brother at school. Because the guy asked me, is your brother's name this and that? But then it was similar. I'm like, no, but it's this name. Like, he told me a name that's similar to my brother's name.
Yeah.
Then he's like, no, her dribbler once told me she's going for a visiting day with your sister. Your sister's name is XYZ, right? I'm like, yeah, that's my sister.
Yeah.
Like, there is no way these guys would have gone to see my brother and never told me.
Yeah.
Like, no, I don't know any of that. So she actually used to lie that she's going to visit my bro when she's actually seeing the other guy.
Wow.
Instead.
Bro,
so I'm like,
this is some next level dribbling, man.
I was like, wow.
So when you eventually did reveal that you know what's going on, etc., she tried to apologize. Obviously, you said, "Nah, I'm not up for this because you've shown me your true colors, and you're only really sorry because you got caught."
Exactly.
Did she keep pushing?
Well, she didn't keep pushing for the relationship. She just kept on pushing for forgiveness. Like, I understand you cannot. She was like, I understand you cannot take me back after what I've done. Like, I don't see any way out of this. But I would just like to say I'm really sorry for what happened. And I asked her, like, if you didn't want to be with me, you could have just told me, like, look, man, this is not working. You're far away.
Yeah.
Let's just
and you'd have understood, that maybe long distance is not really your thing.
Exactly. Like that guy said, I don't remember the episode, who say that long distance relationships are an extreme sport.
Yes, I remember that episode, and it's damn true. I vowed to myself never to do long distance after someone that I had a relationship moved over to, I shouldn't say the continent, because then she would know that I'm talking about her. And something tells me she listens to this podcast. So, I get it. It's a lot. It's a lot of work to do things long distance.
Yeah, so that's about it, man. That's my story.
Mad! Yeah, no, that's I'm grateful you shared those lessons. I mean, just playing them back. The very first one is very clear that your partner's friends are not your friends. And I've had these conversations with some of my good fellas here to say it just doesn't work. I don't need to expand onto it. It's really self-explanatory, and you explained it very well in your episode. And then number 2, if a person can cheat with you, then they can obviously cheat on you. And when you guys shared your kiss and then you pulled away and you said, no, we can't do this, blah, 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 I suspect she was already learning the moves already with you. And she possibly did something very similar with these guys because, man, the fact that she had you 3 in a row and was able to separate the phone numbers and dribble up all these excuses, although they were poor, means that she had some experience. So that's a very valid lesson. And then the third one, sometimes we want to play the victim, but we also are instrumental in our own heartbreaks. And I don't think you could have said this any better because you had countless opportunities to say, hey, this stuff ain't adding up. And because it doesn't add up, I'm going to move this way, and that way. You'd have saved yourself a lot of time.
Yeah,
2,
that's true.
You could have potentially saved yourself a significant amount of money because you're buying phones, you're paying for somebody to ferry them between 2 countries, and you were also adding airtime.
Imagine.
Those are really, really valuable lessons. And what a fantastic story, Buru.
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
Thanks.
I'm sure there are a lot of men in this exact same situation who are going to benefit from this. And I must say thank you for sharing this because there's not a lot of men who are sharing stories on this podcast.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Well, you've all been listening to another episode of The Feeling Station. I'm your host, Tinto, and I look forward to catching you in next weekend's episode. Peace.
Tell me what you're feeling.
Satis on Daro Raini and Chake Zain.
Tell me what you're feeling. Now that it's over.
Satis on Daro Raini and Chake Zain.
Let me talk about my feelings. Let me talk about my feelings, yeah.
Urudoi motoru noto kujidziro amai.
Kujidziro amai. Love is a fire.
Urudoi motoru noto kujidziro amai.